Live streaming of SDR news coverage at HP Discover has been made possible by Intel Corporation. Check out Intel Open Port IT, where you can connect with your peers at Intel on industry topics, best practices, strategies, and more. And by Microsoft, where HP and Microsoft are working together, combining their respective strengths to deliver innovative technologies to help advance your business.
Traveling to Barcelona, we had some critical studio gear damaged by airline mishandling. That resulted in degraded audio quality during some of our interviews. We've edited the backup recordings of the interviews for maximum clarity possible. We'll offer each guest a chance for re-recording. Please watch for announcements on the Twitter stream, AXMC, and SDR News for updates.
Welcome to our continuing coverage here at HP Discover in Barcelona. I'm Andy McCaskey from SDR News, and for this session we're joined by Mr. Tim Crawford from AVOA. And our guest is Kim Howlett, who is a regional manager for HP ExpertOne. Kim, could you tell us a little bit about ExpertOne and what your role is?
With pleasure, Andy. So ExpertOne is a pan-HP learning and certification support division which enables skills development and the growth of expertise across all of HP's solutions and across many different roles, whether they be partner, customers, users, individuals, and we support this entire ecosystem of learning and learning validation.
So it's not only the ability to attract and retain people with the right skills, it's continuing to support and develop those skills as well then.
Exactly. It's really important in the market as technology is evolving at such a fast pace that we support learners in their journey to become better skilled and to keep up with technology trends and with technology changes, because that is what the market is demanding, and we support the enablement of these various learners.
So, Tim, drawing on your experience as a CIO, how have you addressed training issues in your operations?
Training's immensely important, and if we look at the statistics, I mean, training and education become things that are really hard to successfully deploy within your organization. And so I think, finding good programs are key and essential to the development of the organization over time. And it's not a point-in-time thing. It's something you've got to do continually. It's that continual improvement as it applies to the organization.
So, Kim, you have a large number of courses, over 600 courses available. How do you ensure that those are up to date and current?
That's a very good question, Andy. So I think our courses are divided into two parts. One is what we call certification courses, and these are where the learning is validated. The learning is validated by taking an examination. So what we tend to focus when we develop and deliver these courses, and they are developed by education professionals, is that we focus really on understanding the deep philosophy of what we're trying to enable in the technology, and not focus on technology speeds and feeds or product changes that may change. So that is the one part of how we manage the freshness or up-to-dateness of the material. The other part is that we have a new structure within ExpertOne called learning paths. And what these learning paths provide are access to modular, up-to-date training that users can take online and ensure that it complements their certification training. So we are constantly updating our portals with new training, which is available for our learners to consume.
So Tim, in your experience, how reliable is certification as a true indicator of how a person is going to perform?
So from experience, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag because there's a difference between being book smart and being street smart. It's the application of the certification that becomes key. So getting the certification is only the first step of it. You need to be able to apply those skills within the organization, because if you can't apply the skills, then one could question, what's the validity of the certification? But I think there are two pieces of training, and one thing I'm curious about from ExpertOne is there's typically, the hard skills, right? We get into, do you know a specific technology or a particular product? And then the other piece is the soft skills, and I'm curious to hear more about, where does ExpertOne kind of fit into that paradigm?
So soft skills are actually much more complex to train and enable people on, but they're incredibly important. And we know from project management that many IT projects are failing, not because the technology chosen wasn't absolutely appropriate, it's because the soft skills or the organizational understanding and change management wasn't done effectively. So yes, we do have certain courses that supplement hardcore technical knowledge, but our main focus is really around supporting technology learning within ExpertOne.
Is the ExpertOne program geared specifically around HP products and services, or how far do you branch beyond that? And if you do branch beyond that, how far do you go?
We do branch beyond focusing on HP solutions. So we try to give our learners a mix. So for instance, we provide top-of-mind material. For instance, software-defined networking. There's been a recent learning module that we've released to huge acclaim. We had over 24,000 people across the globe downloading that training within a few hours of it being posted. And this shows the appetite that there is for, as you say, learning that's not totally specific around a vendor's products or solutions. So we do have a mix of non-vendor related training that's more broad in general around cloud, around software-defined data centers. Mm-hmm. But of course, a large part of our training is enabling our users and our communities to utilize the technology that we create.
When you think about new folks that are coming into the programs, what percentage of them are existing HP customers versus maybe new customers, where ExpertOne becomes a doorway of new folks into the HP family?
So we have student, to answer your question on that, we have what we call student entry-level courses that we facilitated, whereby we go into universities and colleges and high schools and encourage entry-level learners to learn broadly about the technology and then lead into learning more about HP solutions. So there is to answer your question, there is a large amount of entry-level or new learners coming into our systems. And we have over 700,000 learners registered within ExpertOne across the globe. So it's a huge community.
Are those active folks in the program, or does registered mean active, or does registered mean they've signed up, but they might have taken a class 6 months ago, but they haven't done anything since?
So that's a good point as well. So we track activity, and if we find a user or learner hasn't been very active, what we'll do is find something that relates to their interest and send them an email and encourage
a gentle reminder.
A gentle reminder to go onto the portal and learn. But what is wonderful to see is how many of these learners are active. And I think the activity reflects the quality of the content that they can get. And if you think that the learning content is free of charge, it's available on a portal for them to download, it becomes a very attractive proposition.
Yeah. Kim, just kind of a final question. I think there were 2 new certifications introduced here at HP Discover. Data and Big Data and Data Center. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
What were the modules?
Data Center and Cloud Certification.
Cloud Certification, yes.
Correct. And that underscores really this large focus that we at HP have on cloud competencies, cloud certifications, which are very much in demand from the market. And we received a recent IDC study that informed us that last year there were 1.7 million unfulfilled job roles mainly in the US, that were unfulfilled because they couldn't find the relevant skills, the relevant technology skills to fill these posts.
Yes.
So we see there's a huge demand for skills around cloud. So to serve this market, we've released these new cloud certifications.
Where can people go for more information about ExpertOne?
HP.com, ExpertOne is where you go to find more information. I would encourage everybody to do that.
I could almost have guessed that. Tim, thanks so much for joining us. Tim, thanks for sitting in here as well. Thanks to you folks for following us here at SGR News for coverage at HP Discover in Barcelona.